Warsaw is a city that learned how to be quiet, not because it had nothing to say, but because speaking too loudly was never a luxury it could afford. This is a place where emotions are not performed. They are carried inward, shaped by routine, by responsibility, by movement through space. You notice it, especially in women, in the way they walk, the way they look ahead, the way they exist in the city without asking for permission. Warsaw does not try to impress. It simply stands its ground, and that calm confidence defines everything around it. Warsaw is a city that had to rebuild itself completely from the ground up. And when you spend time here, you start to notice that this experience didn't turn into a story people tell, but into a way people live. Because rebuilding on that scale leaves no space for hesitation, no space for waiting until conditions become perfect. And instead creates a rhythm where things simply have to work, day after day, without drama, and without unnecessary noise. And that pressure, which never really disappeared, shaped a very specific, everyday atmosphere, where reliability slowly became more important than self-expression, where consistency mattered more than ambition, and where people learned to move forward not because they felt inspired, but because stopping was never an option. This is something you can still feel when you walk through the city today, especially when you watch how women move through these spaces, not trying to attract attention, not trying to explain who they are, but simply existing with a kind of quiet certainty that comes from knowing how to handle life without turning it into a performance. In Warsaw, independence was never something abstract or ideological. It wasn't discussed or framed as a concept. It was practiced daily in small, practical ways, often without even being noticed, because responsibility here was never optional, and strength was built slowly through repetition, routine, and the understanding that things need to be done, whether you feel emotionally ready or not. You can see this in how people respect distance without becoming cold, in how movement through public spaces feels calm but purposeful, and in how the city never rushes, yet never feels lost. And this is where the character of Warsaw women becomes especially visible, not as an image or a stereotype, but as a presence that feels grounded, balanced, and very real. Because they don't need to compete for space or attention. The city already gives them room to exist naturally, without exaggeration and without the need to prove anything. There is elegance here, but it is practical and lived in. There is femininity here, but it feels stable rather than decorative, and confidence doesn't arrive as something that needs to be announced. It simply grows over time through work and through living in a place that quietly expects you to be reliable instead of impressive. Which is why strength in Warsaw often feels almost invisible, even though it is everywhere. Warsaw does not romanticize strength, and it doesn't turn it into a story that needs to be told or explained. It treats it as a normal part of life, something that exists quietly in the background, supporting everything else without demanding attention. That is why the city feels calm, even when it is busy, and grounded even when it is changing, because its foundation is built not on illusion or image, but on experience, repetition, and a clear sense of direction that has formed over time. And when you watch women moving through Warsaw, across streets, between buildings, through open spaces of glass and concrete, you begin to understand that this calm confidence is not something they switch on for the camera. It feels natural and unperformed, shaped by a city where strength does not need to be proven, and confidence does not need to be announced, because it already exists as part of everyday life. Thank you for watching, and if this atmosphere resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and tell me what you think about Warsaw, or how this city feels to you.